W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we like and an L to the things that we don't. It's on you.
I'm actually stuffed with dubs this week, y'all. Positivity incoming. Get it out of the
Crazy.
way because the back half is going to be messy. So first up, I got is going out to the prospective Office reboot. All right, there was a quote by the director, and we're going to pull it up here so I can read it to you folks. Greg Daniels teases about the Office reboot that when there's something to announce, I will definitely announce it. That was a nothing quote. I'm actually mad that I went and dug for that. But The Office is one of my all-time funniest comedies for me. Love The Office.
Definitely up
I
there.
think all of the offshoots that spawned after it, while they had funny people on them, sucked.
Is that a shot
But
at
that's
Parks and
just me.
Rec?
Just saying.
That was a clear shot at Parks and
Uh,
Rec, if I ever heard
I'm,
one.
I'm just saying. Uh, but yeah, nah, I'm definitely excited about it. Now, I would want it to be some sort of continuation, though. Don't give me another Michael Scott. No one can do that. It's Steve Carell. Ooh, did I just do an anti-recast sentiment? Damn. Just gave an anti-recast sentiment, didn't
Literally
I?
use their verbiage and everything. No one can be Michael
No one
Scott.
else can do it. I think Michael's story is done, though. I think they gave Michael an ending. If Michael ended up back in the office, it would feel like a failure. It would feel like him and Holly failed. It would feel like he never had the kid he wanted to have, and his marriage failed. Like that's not what I want to see from Michael Scott. And he finally got out and became an adult. That's what we wanted to end for Michael. Now, if we see some old characters from the prior series at a new company, from an old bygone paper company that went out of business some years ago, be that Dunder Mifflin, and now we still have Stanley, who's on the edge of retirement, and Evan, they needed an accountant over at fucking Best Buy or something like that. Who knows where the next office is going to be? But I'm excited, and there are certain people that I would like to see come back. I just feel like you would be doing the goodbye you gave Michael a disservice if you brought him back in this way, or even rebooted him and made him a completely different person. Continuation over complete reboot. That's my vote. Um. Oh, next dub I got is coming out for the picks from Avatar Airbender. And we got General Iroh, we got Fire Lord Ozai, we've got Zuko was in there. I think we've seen Azula as well. Um, this shit looks dope. It looks dope for sure. No disrespect to M Night Shyamalan. Again, man, I enjoy his movies a lot more than the average person. But that his Nickelodeon iteration of The Last Airbender was god awful. I'm hoping for better things with Netflix, and it certainly seems like we're going to get better things. I like some of the castings that we've got, especially the one for Fire Lord Ozai. They got the guy from Lost, Chin. He was in there. Um, but yeah, no, picks look great. Just waiting on a trailer, I guess. Did you hear that there is a live action Gargoyle series in the works at Disney?
No,
Mhm,
no, I
mhm,
didn't.
mhm. Yes, sir.
Is
Yes,
Keith
sir.
David involved?
I was about to say, don't want it, and Keith Davis not involved. Okay, don't want it. Don't want any parts of it.
Why not?
Okay, I don't want any parts of it. They already missed the boat with not bringing in Ving Rhames to play Mr. Bubbles in the Lilo and Stitch live action. Please don't
Yeah,
do this again. Don't do this again. I love. What's Angela Bassett's husband's name? Um,
Courtney Vance.
Courtney Vance. I love Courtney Vance, but that thing should have been Ving Rhames. Have been Ving
It
Rhames for
should have.
sure. Shout out to One Piece. One Piece, the series of One Piece. It, I think the first week it got 5.8 million viewers or 5.8 million views. What it said?
Sheesh,
That's dope.
that is really dope.
That is really dope.
It's a lot.
Shout out to One Piece, man. You're talking about an anime crossover. Those kind of things have been very hit or miss, especially on the Netflix platform. So it's good to see them have one. The thing that's interesting to me though about that is that it further to see the reception that they got for that number. It further goes on to tell me that the the measurements that we have set up for what is a success and what isn't a success in streaming in this arena is still amazingly undefined. Because
Mm.
look at this juxtaposition here. So we celebrate One Piece, a production that was meant for a streaming service. We celebrate One Piece for coming in at 5.8 million views, right? That's to be celebrated. If you take the same logic and apply it to Ahsoka, we should be applauding them then, right? Because they had 7 million viewers for their opening episode. But oh, it was half of what Kenobi was, and Kenobi sucked, so Ahsoka's a failure. Again, I said this to y'all last week. I think I've said it to you before. If anybody is telling you that they know how to measure the success of streaming by and large on an industry-wide basis, they are fucking liars. They are lying. Nelson ratings were built for television. Those things were built when we were measuring viewers for broadcast TV. Right? Using that measuring system to measure your streaming service and dictate whether or not it's successful or not is kind of a misnomer because those models were not set up to measure a show that's consumed like this. They couldn't take into account things like binge watching. Right? They couldn't take into account someone being able to watch a show straight through with no commercials. So again, it's just undefined right now. There isn't enough data to tell us what is successful because they'll sit up here and they'll clown Ahsoka for only coming in at 7.1 million viewers, half of what Kenobi got it. Oh, but the same fucking writers, let's celebrate One Piece for 5.8. And I'm not
Seems
saying
legit.
either one of them are bad. I'm just saying look at the inconsistency in what they celebrate and what they don't. Ahsoka's a failure. One Piece is good. But Ahsoka had 2 million more views than One Piece its first week. What are we talking about here? Like, does anybody believe numbers that have to be reviewed and collected and reviewed for 3 months or 2 months, however long it is? I think it's like 60 days to be like fine-tune accurate and give you the best picture of how well a show is doing. That is what was, because I believe, not mistaken, one of the things that was holding up the writer's strike so much, because how do we define what is and what isn't successful for these shows as opposed to what we were making on broadcast television? And lo and behold, now one of the biggest studios in the industry is going back to making episodic, season over season plot bibles, all the regular broadcast TV show shit. You know why? Because they have to have a structure that matches broadcast TV to measure this shit accurately and pay the people accordingly. So just for review, before I send y'all all on your way, if there's anybody telling you that they're keeping you updated and telling you the truth by giving you honest information and then try to explain these streaming numbers to you in a derogatory way versus the studios that you know that they hate, they are liars. They're liars. They don't know how to decipher that shit any more than we do. There is no streaming viewership experts. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Industry's too new. The platforms got too big, too fast for us to gauge what is and what isn't successful. It's going to take some time. It's going to take years of collecting data. You want to know why we have a point system or a rating system for television, for live TV, for sporting events? You know why there's a rating system set up? Because that rating system is built off of decades, almost a century of data. It makes absolutely no sense to try to convince me that you know better and you know what's actually going on in the streaming apparatus when it's really been a major player in the media market less than a decade. maybe a decade. Let's call it a decade.
Yeah, Netflix.
But a serious player, probably less than a decade. To the point where all of the companies have adopted a streaming platform. I'd say that's been less than 10 years.
Well, yeah, I mean places like Disney Plus, Peacock,
HBO,
3, 4
Peacock, all of
years.
that. Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, shout out to One Piece. Hey, Spider-Man 2 comes out on Friday, y'all.
Does it?
Spider-Man 2 comes out on Friday.
That
I
might
don't
be the
think y'all
first
ready.
game I get for my PS5.
I don't think we ready. I don't think we're ready. I mean, Miles has an awful haircut in this game, but boy, it looks good. Most of the mods that I've seen from this thing look absolutely awesome. It's awesome. Looks very good. I'm excited to play it. Okay. So I've avoided this long enough. Probably spent a little bit too long on my One Piece rant, so I'll shave this down just a hair.
As much as you can.
Yeah. Jada Pinkett Smith. Let me start my L's. Jada Pinkett Smith is the single worst wife I think I've ever witnessed in my lifetime.
Yeah.
For so many reasons, but for the main reason of fidelity. Fidelity. Um, in a marriage, regardless of what that marriage looks like, the one thing that kind of holds y'all together is trust. It's trust that my insecurities, my weaknesses, my pitfalls, my mistakes, the very worst of me is protected with you, right? The very worst things that anybody could ever say or see from me, say about me or see from me, are safe with you because you are my partner lifelong. You are my confidant. You are my wife. And so the last thing that we should be seeing from this woman after everything her family has gone through in the last 4, 5, 6 years, right? And I mean not even just with Will and Jada. I mean from Willow to Jaden crying on stage and shit. Willow laid up in the bed with grown ass men, the slap, right? Like after all of this, Jada lost Red Table Talk. After all of this, the last thing you would think that we would be wanting to do is to be rehashing our marital issues on national platforms all over, let alone, I mean, the book is what it is. That obviously probably was in the works a long time before the slap, but I don't like anything about this. Not to mention, you lying. Like you're lying boldly and vehemently lying. Tupac asked you to marry him. Tupac asked you to marry him while he was in Rikers Island. The one day he was in Rikers Island, because Suge Knight bailed him out. So the one day he was in Rikers Island, you made your way to New York and visited him where he asked you to marry you. That's funny. It's just funny because, I mean, obviously the timeline of it all, he wasn't there very long. He got bailed out. And then also, he was married. He was legally married at the time. His wife moved closer to Rikers Island so that she could see him every day. Oh well, Tupac have wow, he could have asked more than one woman to marry him. He was on that whole African heritage stuff. We don't do these Eurocentric ideas of what unions look like. Oh, okay, fine. They annulled their marriage a few weeks after he got out of jail, and he proposed to another woman publicly, like was publicly engaged to another woman. Where did you fit in into all of that, Jada? Like, we're happy. He broke up with his first wife. Then he realized, oh, I really want to marry you, but you told him no. So then he went and found another wife. How stupid do you think motherfuckers are? Like, first of all, obviously you think Matt Barnes and Jack are dumb as shit. You think they're dumb as fuck. And I mean, I can't really argue with you because they was eating that shit up. And if you would lie so flagrantly about that, you really honestly think I'm gonna believe you when you go on Good Morning America and try to tell these people that you and Will wasn't in a relationship when you was fucking August Alsina? Man, listen. There hasn't been a single male infidelity perpetuator. There's been one single celebrity male cheater that was this brazen with their cover up. Did you forget the nigga wrote a song about you and was suicidal? Did you forget that he told y'all that he was living in the house with y'all? Not you and Jaden, with all of y'all. Why you sitting over here trying to tell us that y'all haven't lived in the same house for years? So do you just head over to the house to shoot the social media videos that y'all be posting all the fucking time? Or no? No? I was fucking your wife in your house. Was he confused about whose house it was? Or let me guess, August is just around all the time having sex with you and he didn't really know what's going on with you and Will at all. To sell a book. To sell a book. You're gonna destroy whatever bit you got left of your marriage. To sell a book. Sell a book.
And I don't know if you saw it, but they did a little video where the family was all together to celebrate her initial books that she received. It was fucking weird. It was like nobody really wanted to be there.
The energy was off. I know the energy
It
was
was very
off.
off.
Because they're usually a very joyful bunch. Like they clown a lot, they joke, they travel. Obviously, they're rich as hell, so they go all around the world. But like when you see them, they are either trying to give the impression that they're very happy, or they are actually genuinely very happy. And so if you getting weird energy, I know that shit was off. Why are you doing this shit, yo? Why are you doing? I know why you're doing the whole we've been separated, we ain't living in the same house. Oh, but since I came out here and told y'all all of this, we're in the best place we've ever been, and we were in a really good place of healing. Can you go jump off a bridge, please? Stop it. You are a cheater. You cheated. And just like America wants every man who has ever cheated on his wife to wear that shit and atone for it, I'm about to let you out this situation because technically then why was it an entanglement, Jada? Why you ain't say you had a boyfriend? Why didn't you say, yeah, we can talk about this situation that me and Will had when we were separated. I was dating someone, he was a younger guy, it didn't work out, and now the situation with August Alsina would have been so much better handled if any of this was true. If you and Will were actually separated for a number of years, and you were willing to come out and say it, which we know you were because you're doing it right now, that would have been so much easier than the jumbled word salad that you tried to put together on Red Fuck Talk. But no, what you did was, I mean, I knew August, and you know, it was a entanglement. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hey, fam, and for all you mega weirdos, oh well, I just know Will Smith cheated on him. Okay, before all this shit happened, you would never fix your mouth to say, oh, I just know that Jada Pinkett cheated on Will before you found it out. Check yourself. Secondly, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck if he cheated on her 100 times. I really don't care because you know what he didn't do? He didn't get caught. You don't know about it. He didn't embarrass her. He didn't make the world have to see his daughter's friend suicidal over not being with him no more. He didn't do that. Didn't do it. She didn't get up and defend him publicly, even if it came to violence, and then leave her out to dry. Miss me with the conspiracy theories about Will Smith's serial cheating. Shit, it's been rumors that Will likes to dabble with men. Don't give a shit, because you know why? If Will Smith was able to have sex with Margot Robbie and Eva Mendes and any number of other Hollywood starlets, Regina King, if he was able to bag all of them and then throw some men in there too and still have the squeaky clean image that he has and never, not once, embarrass his wife, he's 100 times better than Jada Smith. He's 100 times better than Jada Pinkett Smith. I think what Southside and G Herbo did on Funny Marco's show was kind of lame. I think that shit was very
I
lame.
knew you were going to take one of mine. And
I
you
think
know
that
what?
shit was lame. And I was kind of wrestling with it for a little bit until I seen Marco's response.
Yeah. Same.
Right? And he was like, hey, look, I just kind of rolled with it. Like, I didn't think that shit was cool, but I wasn't about to blow it up right then and there. I learned something from this and I'll just move on, which was a very mature response for what I was watching. Because I
Very
was like,
mature, professional.
there's no way in hell that like this wasn't planned. Like you wasn't planned to tell me to shut the fuck up a million times, throw a cup in my face, tell me that my son hates you, the Jordans that I bought you with nigga. First of all, I
Break
don't
a
know why you bought that nigga
$30,000
son some
watch.
shoes. Huh?
Break a $30,000 watch.
Who broke a $30,000 watch?
In a scene that was cut from the actual video, they broke a $30,000 watch as well.
His watch?
You don't see it, but you hear it. Like somebody hands Southside a watch, and then you hear it clank a couple times.
He just like snaps it?
I don't know what he did at first, but then the second part sounds like he slammed it. So I don't.
It was just real lame and embarrassing as fuck.
Yeah.
So embarrassing. Listen, hold on, wait. I mean, obviously embarrassing for a lot of them. But there's a point in there where like they handing in the money, right? Oh, it's a 10 ball. Oh, it's a 10 ball for sure. Oh, it might be a little less. Now listen up, folks. I know we don't really do math here, but let me just take you down my memory lane about how to count bills. Okay, so you count all blues, right? You count $100 bills. What's the easiest way to do it? The easiest way to do it is just count it straight up and see how many bills you got. You know why?
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
The only thing you got to do is slap some zeros on the end of that motherfucking number. It's easy. It's if you've ever done anything where you dealt with a lot of cash, many things, right? You would tend to pick that up pretty quickly, especially if you have to do it a lot very quickly. Gosh, I shit you not. I watched that man count these $100 bills 4 times and then give up and give it to Southside.
That was so embarrassing.
Okay, holy fucking shit. All right, so you holding 96 bills in your hand, G Herbo. How much money is that? They all $100 bills. You got 96 of them. How much money is it, G Herbo? That nigga said, "Hey, fuck it. Here you go, twin." Damn it. School system is failing us.
If Johnny has 4 apples.
Oh my god, dog. I mean, MJ could have did that. 100, 200, 300. Like, my nigga.
That was bad.
It was fucking terrible. It's showing the world that you can't count at the same time that you're trying to flex on somebody. Like, that's like ignorance at its finest.
Yeah.
Oh man, I make all this money. Life is good. Life good over here. Shit, life great. I can't count $9,600 in all hundreds. He's the world's worst bank teller.
Yeah. No, that, and then did you saw the whole thing?
Yeah, most of it.
The very beginning, Southside seemed like maybe mildly annoyed, drunk probably, but still a feasible interview. It wasn't until Herbo walked in that he also decided to turn up, which was like, that's some fuck shit. That's some fuck ass shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a good look for them. First of all, Herbo, maybe I'm embarrassing myself by saying this, but where's the music? I know life good right now. Is it gonna keep being good? Because I don't know the last G Herbo smash that I heard, but he makes
The
music for
last one I heard
16-year
was
olds
Swervo.
so long ago, right? Swervo, Swervo, Swervo. It's been a minute, dog. You on the clock, player. Why you over here trying to fight with internet personalities? I think you should make some music.
That
He was
shit
about
came
to
out.
beef with the dude behind the camera because he said he heard him rapping in high school.
Oh, that was
I
crazy.
never do no cipher. I wasn't even no rapper in high school. We know. We know. It shows. It
That part was
shows.
hilarious because Marco's wearing the jacket. He's just sliding all this money into the pockets. That was hilarious. I was crying laughing. But yeah, no, Swervo was 2018. So yeah, you're on the clock. You're on the clock.
Been on the clock, fam. Been on the clock. Anyways, this one is gonna be serious. Last one, last little rant I have going on here. I don't even really have to speak too long on this one. I'll just kind of say what it is. What's happening right now in Palestine and Gaza is genocide. It's murder. They are war crimes. And any one of you celebrities, politicians, Zionists, any of you who have uttered the sentence in the last 7 days, Israel has the right to protect themselves, period. You are an op. So that goes for Amari Stoudemire. That goes for Luke Skywalker himself,
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. That goes for oh shit, who else? Obama is a fucking op. Who else is an op? White House press secretary, what is her name? Jean Pierre, Karen Jean Pierre. That includes you, who, when was asked about, I believe it was Rashida Tlaib, who said that, obviously calling for a ceasefire and a halt to the violence going on in Gaza, where over 1,000 children have already been killed. Over 1,000 children since this conflict started. This particular conflict started have been killed in bombings in Gaza, which wouldn't be very hard to tell was going to happen because well over 50% of the population in Palestine are under the age of 16.
Mm.
And any teenager has been labeled an extremist of Hamas. Oh, but yeah, Rashida Tlaib called for a ceasefire and called for some peace talks. And the White House press secretary Karen Jean Pierre called those statements abhorrent. That the call to an end of violence in a war was abhorrent. Now we've already heard the defense minister in Israel say that he considers all of the Gazan people to be combatants of Hamas. And we've also heard the Israeli president come out and say that they hold the same responsibility because they did not unconditionally surrender to Israel and push out Hamas. And so now the entire 20-mile by 5-mile strip that has been continuously shrunken in Palestine, or what used to be Palestine since 1948, is being lined up to be demolished, leveled. This is an ethnic cleansing, nothing short. It's been an apartheid state, and this is nothing short of an ethnic cleansing. And if you are on the side of Israel has a right to defend themselves, you are in defense of murderers and baby killers. No one is sitting up here defending the actions of Hamas or singing their praises in any which way. I'm just a little bit confused because, see, me as a Black American, I have witnessed not one, not two, not three mass shootings in the last 2 years, specifically targeted at black people by white extremists. Our own intelligence agencies identify white supremacy as one of the leading causes of terror in this country. There are several white supremacist terrorist groups on the FBI's watch list, right? Designated as hate groups and terrorist groups. Why don't we start a war here to defend black Americans? We have terroristic attacks against us all the time. A man had his neck sat on for 9 minutes. But you know why we can't have that? It's because the same guy who held his knee down on George Floyd's neck probably got the training over in Israel. If you're asking yourself as a black person why you should give a damn about any of this shit, it's because when you see somebody fleeing and get shot in the back, when you see those cops tackle a protester to the ground and they create this big ass circle so they can whoop his ass, when you see them pulling up in these unmarked vans where they slide the door open, pop out, grab some people, and drive the fuck off, when they're pulling up to these protests, dropping bricks off, dropping all kind of shit that they're claiming that the protesters are using to attack police so that they have a reason to come in and arrest them or fuck them all up. Do you know where those tactics come from? IDF. It's the Israeli military that trains our police officers here. So if you're a fan of the Philando Castiles, if you're a fan of the Michael Browns, if you're a fan of the George Floyds, if you're a fan of Elijah McClain's, Breonna Taylor, if you're fond of those instances, then please get behind the Israeli flag and say they should be able to kill any indiscriminate amount of children just because they had a terroristic threat against them. Which in all honesty has been due to the failed leadership of Benjamin Netanyahu and all of the Israeli leadership with what's been going on in that area for the longest time. How does a country that claims to have a separation of church and state, that claims to have religious freedom, support an ethnic cleansing behind an ethno-state, behind a theocracy? The Israeli government is leading a genocide against the people of Gaza, and the rest of the world is sitting back and saying they have a right to. Israel sits behind a 100-foot wall to protect themselves from ballistic attacks, as opposed to being able to shoot a rocket from safety and hit an apartment building from miles away. Hamas doesn't have that. This is not a war. This is an extermination. You're trying to hold yourself into pretzels and mental gymnastics to describe it any other way. Not to mention, they have just recently bombed the last escape route. I think the Rafah border is the only place that Palestinians were able to escape and seek asylum through. And they just recently bombed it and claimed that it was Hamas. Nowhere to escape. You want to go to the Israel border? You get within 1,000 feet of it, they will shoot you. Thousands of Palestinians have been killed since 2018 when that became the policy. You want to go the other way towards Egypt? Same thing. Get within 1,000 feet and they will shoot you. Why you don't just get in a boat? You can just leave by water from Palestine. There's a man-made wall in the ocean keeping them from going too far. And if they do stray around it, guess what happens? Got out of the water by Israeli military. That is what they're dealing with. That is what has existed even before this most recent conflict started. That is the reality of a Palestinian in a place where their ancestors had lived for centuries. And all of this because someone said, my God did it. My God said I belong here. My God says I have an ordained right to kill indiscriminately. I don't know what God you're talking about, but we can't be talking about the same one.
For what it's worth, I think it's absolutely nuts that there are multiple politicians, actually a lot of politicians, including both sides. People like Nancy Pelosi, people like Tommy Tuberville, who are getting rich off of investing into military armament companies. I just want to throw that out there. I also want to throw it out there that our treasurer has said basically that we can absolutely afford another war.
And listen to me. Look at the juxtaposition, right? We have to defend Ukraine because if we allow Russia to just move in and take Ukraine, that's a dead on sign to China to go ahead and move in on Taiwan. That's a dead on sign for North Korea to move in on South Korea. We can't allow for that to happen. Based off of principle alone, they can't just come in and just reclaim land like that, right? One of your allies is using phosphorus gas to regain some land. They're doing the exact same thing that the Russians are doing. They are on opposite sides of the same war. Morally. They are morally on opposite sides of the same conflict. The Russians are to the Ukrainians what the Israelis are to the Palestinians. At least Ukraine used to be a part of Russia. Israel was not Israel until 1948. In less than 100 years, less than a century. In every half a century, a quarter century or so since, it has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller until it hit the dimensions that I just gave you. 20 miles long, 5 miles wide. That's it.
Let's start off with my dubs. I'm giving a dub to Payola. So BET just had their hip hop awards not too long ago. They had a category of award, Best Hip Hop Platform. I'm going to give you a couple of nominees and I'm going to allow you to guess who you think won based off of the hint that I just gave you of Payola. Drink Champs, $1 Million Worth of Game, The Breakfast Club, The Joe Budden Podcast, Double XL, Hip Hop DX, Carisha. Who do you think won out of all of these names based off of the hint that I gave you of Payola?
I'm going to take Carisha for 300, Alex.
Ding, 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 ding. Carisha is the best hip hop platform over literally all the ones that I just named. How? Payola. That's how.
Did he? That was it. Did he?
Diddy definitely was like, look, I'm going to give y'all some money. Just make sure Carisha win real quick.
He wanted to do something nice before he went to jail for setting up Tupac's death.
Yeah. Yep. Parting gift for sure.
According to Kefi D, that boy Diddy put up $1 million to get Tupac up out of here. Just nasty work, yo.
Yikes.
Nasty work all around.
Yikes.
Nasty. I actually hope they do pull his ass into court because we need answers on so much more than just Tupac's death. Like, what the fuck is this shit going on with you and Usher, bro? Because I know I'm not crazy now because I seen a white person bring it up the other day. And I said, oh, if white people have gotten a hold of this, you're cooked. You're cooked.
You're done.
You're done. Lifetime, here we come. They are on the way. Wait till Oprah get a note of this. Wait till Oprah and Gail get a hold of this shit.
Surviving Diddy?
God, you murdered. You set up Tupac and you was touching little boys? Oh, man. That's a smorgasbord for Oprah and Gail, boy.
That's a cash cow right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Big yikes. All right. Giving my next dub to Adobe, the company that has given us things like Photoshop and the software that I edit on. Because they had some sort of announcement. I think they were announcing just different products in general. But the part of the conference that I saw was a girl walked up and she had on this dress, and the dress basically kept changing. She was wearing it, but the design of it just kept changing. I don't know what the
Like
technology behind it was.
gold, white, blue, black thing.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda. Now it was just like a beige one, but it had like black on it. And so like the black lines just kept changing. So it became a new dress, which I thought was very interesting. Again, I don't know the technology behind it, but I'm sure, once Michigan starts to decline again, Michigan fans can use it to like whatever team they like afterwards because, they're going to decline. And so they can change their jersey to whoever. Michigan State, Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana, wherever. You have a completely different team now.
Hold on 1 second. You have 40 more days to keep on squawking about.
I'm just saying, if and when a decline happens, you can just change your jersey.
Surely isn't going to happen on November 26th, now is it? Before we get this three-peat.
If and when you can change your jersey. Thanks, Adobe.
Yeah.
All right, my last dub goes to Atlanta. Had a great time. Ate some good food. Saw Trae Young ball out. Had a great time. Had a wonderful time out there. And I thought it was funny that I left the airport Wednesday when we got in. I didn't see too many white people after that. Like I went to the airport, saw some white people, and then after that, it really is Wakanda out there for sure. I was like, damn, it really is black out here. I love it.
Yeah.
That was great. I loved it. Like I said, had a great time. I have to give Atlanta Airport a L because the Atlanta Airport is awful. They need to do something with it. Almost missed my flight because there was literally like a line 5 blocks long, it felt like, just to get to TSA. And then you had to go through TSA. And then once you get through TSA, you have to go to a train that'll take you to your gate.
That's most airports or most. You know what? I think we're spoiled because John Glenn is low key small.
Yes.
Compared to some of these other like Louis Armstrong in New Orleans or LAX or O'Hara, like John Glenn is really small, man. We don't be having to take no transit elsewhere. You just walk and catch the escalator,
Apparently they're expanding it, but I don't know.
They need to.
I don't know how long it's going to be. To call yourself international and you don't really have any international flights, you have to go through a connecting flight.
I think I flew to Costa Rica out of Columbus.
Straight?
No, I didn't. We went to Florida first. We had a layover in Florida.
Cancun.
Like they have technically international flights. They have international connected flights.
Yeah, it's just like, man, come on. I should be able to fly.
I guess if you pay that ticket, you can get direct.
Nah.
International airport.
We'll see. Anyway, no, maybe I am just newer to travel because I've just started doing it recently. But I don't know. That felt like a lot. It was the worst airport delay that I've had to deal with. Like I said, I almost missed my flight. So I don't know. I give them an L, but we'll see. Maybe I'll deal with worse airports. All right. I got to give an L to an Atlanta hero. Well, hero. I don't want to call him a legend either. I want to give an L to an Atlanta artist that we have enjoyed through our lifetime.
Bow Wow?
No. He's from Reynoldsburg, so.
Is he? I thought he was Atlanta Profound.
He basically was.
Somebody else that say they from Atlanta, they gave a whole bunch of money to their high school in Atlanta just recently. That shit crazy, bro.
We're talking about Lotto?
Talking about, bro. But she from Atlanta though, so.
Right. Sure. Yep.
Talk about solidifying it in the papers and the blogs for sure. Like I'm definitely from here because I gave a bunch of money to this high school.
Yikes. Anyway, no, not Bow Wow. Waka Flocka Flame. Bro has gone from obviously hard in the paint, oh let's do it, no hands fame, underwent a decline, got found on Love and Hip Hop with his ex-wife, I think.
I think they are X, yeah, at this point.
And then went EDM on us with Steve Aoki, I believe. And then the last I heard, he was basically a gamer. Like the last I heard, he had like some big gaming Street Fighter fight versus Lupe Fiasco. Out of nowhere. But now the decline has gotten even worse for him as he is rooting for Trump 2024.
No, he not.
Took a picture with the man. Trump 2024.
I've always valued Walker's opinion because he did realize kind of early in his career that rap wasn't going to be it. And he kind of pivoted to other things like real estate and things of that nature. This is clown shit. I don't know what this is. This is some Lil Pump level bullshit.
Yeah. Literally hashtag Trump 2024. Then the next tweet was a picture with him.
But again, this is not shocking. It's not very shocking because Walker has money. And what do black people with money do? They vote Republican.
My next L goes to none other than Desmond Howard. That's right. Desmond Howard gets yet.
Can you get off of his?
Homeboy decided to, because they were at Oregon, Washington, decided to dance around with the mascot as he was singing a chant for Michael Penix. Notice I pronounced it Michael Penix because that is how it's pronounced. No, this man decided to make a chant titled Big Penix Energy. Big Penix Energy. And he kept saying it. Desmond, that's not how you pronounce his name. It's Penix. Fam, relax. You should give him an L for that too. You should feel like you would give him an L for that.
So he hands you a beautiful moment of television, and you gonna hate on him for that.
Fam.
Who else is giving you sound bites like that? Who's giving it up like that? Nobody else is giving it up like that except for Robert.
No.
Nobody else is giving it up like that.
That is not giving it up. He's an idiot, so he mispronounced the name.
Just like a Buckeye.
Desmond Howard is an idiot, so he mispronounced the name.
No. Okay, even if he did, it's fucking hilarious.
It is hilarious.
Energy is hilarious.
Big Penix Energy is hilarious. Absolutely. But no, he deserves an L.
That's a very long chant. How did he get him to Penix Energy?
No, he just kept going. He's going to give you that Big Penix Energy. Something. Big Penix Energy. Like he kept saying it. Yes. He kept saying it like that. Absolutely wild. Yeah. Like, get your mans.
I think it's funny. It's cool. You good, Des. Keep him blocked.
Yikes. Okay. My next L may be quick. My last L may not be. My next L goes to Mikey Williams. If you would remember, if you checked it out, the last time I gave him an L was because he believed that he was going to be the next athlete to get $1 billion. He said he was going to try to do that by, I think, 25 or some shit. Right? So, hey, great goal to have.
$100 million. It was $1 billion. It was $100 million, right?
Was it $100 million? I thought it was $1 billion. It might have been.
$1 billion?
I thought it was a B.
Did you say $1 billion?
I thought it was a B.
Oh, okay, cool. No, you good.
Okay.
I thought you said $1 million.
No. It was either a B or maybe it was $100 million. I don't know. I thought it was a B. It doesn't seem like he's going. It doesn't seem like he's going to get that now, because homeboy.
Did he get arrested or some shit?
He is standing trial for 6 felony gun charges and facing 28 years.
God damn, gangster.
Dude, what are you doing? You have a future.
Throwing his life away?
You literally have a future. Even if you don't get a B or $100 million, you have a future. How? Or better yet, why is there nobody in your corner to help you with any of this?
All the niggas in his corner is the people he was running with.
I seem to feel like when this happens to a basketball player or somebody like that, somebody's there to, at the very least, take the charge.
Yeah,
if
it
not guide
feels
him
like
away
a
from it.
failure. It does low key feel like a failure of the block or of the community when somebody like that falls to stupid shit, right? Because like he ain't go out there and do it alone. And while yes, he is an individual who's responsible for himself and the decisions that he makes, all of the individuals around him also know what it is he's striving for. And so, like, if you can't even open up your mouth and be like, "Hey, yo, you shouldn't be around here right now," or "Hey, maybe you should move a little bit different." I ain't saying take the charge for the man. Like, I mean, look,
That should be the
man,
last
that's
ditch
that's on
effort,
you.
but it should be
I,
there.
I, I'm not taking the charge for nobody who ain't putting no money in my pocket, and he's broke right now, so it is what it is. But at very least, protecting from the standpoint of like, all right, if I get in trouble, boom, it'll be this, it'll be that, whatever. This nigga get in trouble, we all going down because he was the cash cow.
Yep.
So it's like decision making is just always very interesting. But even still, well, no, it's just kind of hard to beat felony gun charges as a minor.
Yeah. You haven't even made it to your first college game yet. What are we doing?
Tragic story, man. Tragic.
Very tragic. You ready for my last L? I don't know if you've seen the viral video that's been going around, but some women feel so entitled that Cheesecake Factory ain't cutting it for them.
Okay. If it's a skit, the cringe level sent me through the roof.
Sure.
If it's not a skit, this has to be one of the most embarrassing moments for a woman on the internet. It has to be.
I agree.
Like, imagine flexing to the point you done pulled up your live to try to embarrass this nigga for taking you to Cheesecake Factory. I don't go to chain restaurants. Hey, Josh, where did we eat for my birthday in Cancun?
Ruth Chris?
Not my birthday. I'm sorry. For the bachelor party when we went to Cancun, where we eat at?
Ruth Chris?
Is that not a chain restaurant?
Yeah. Yep.
What's she talking about? See, sometimes when you don't know shit, but you think you know something, and you want to give off the idea that you're something that you're not, you'll say something that don't make a whole lot of sense. Right? J. Alexander's, that's a chain restaurant. You can't get a meal in there for less than $150
Yeah.
for one person.
Yep.
Texas Roadhouse is a chain restaurant. Not to mention all of the rinky-dinky chain restaurants that you was really mentioning that would have been perfectly fine for a first date anyways. Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Chili's. Y'all got Chili's open still? Y'all must have the only Chili's open in America.
A 2 for
Applebee's,
$20 at
I don't think
Applebee's?
nobody.
A 2 for
Applebee's
20?
is disrespect. Nah, Applebee's is disrespect. Like you're expecting to fuck in the parking lot if you take her to Applebee's. Like, we not even going home with it. We about to get everything done here. One stop shop. We smoking in the parking lot. We gonna come in here and eat, and then we beating cheeks in the back seat because that's what Applebee's were. Shit. If Fridays was still open, I'd be going there a lot. Who are you? First of all, who are you to dictate what he spends on you before he knows you? You're sitting over here talking about all of this stuff about, I want to know that I'm taken care of, I look nice, and I want to be valued and all that other shit. A man who indiscriminately throws money at you before he knows you does not value you. He's trying to buy you. He's not even thinking about what it is you would want or if even the money is going to work. He just knows it's going to work because he sees you as a hoe and thinks that you're going to go. That's what that is. So if homeboy would have picked you up, took you to Ruth Chris, let you order anything you want, and then got to the end of the night, asked you for some booty, I don't know if that would have made you feel better, but I'm telling you, that guy who did that values you so much less than what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Josh, he had reservations to go somewhere fancy.
Yeah.
And she had the man sitting downstairs in the car for an hour.
An hour. Whew.
You know me enough. You know me well enough to expect me to spend well over $100 on our first date on the meal alone, not include anything else we do. Right? That's what you expect. You don't have the decency to let me sit in your living room while you get dressed.
Crazy. I gotta sit in the
You don't have
car.
the common decency. Oh, well, I don't know you. Well, then you shouldn't expect a person you don't know to buy you expensive food before they know you.
And she repeated that a lot. I don't know you because of this. I don't know you enough to do this. I'm like,
And I said, right on, sister. And he don't fucking know you either. The only thing that makes me mad about this is that when I see people reposting these videos and shit, it'd be like, oh, see what these black women, see what these black women think. And I hate that a few idiots end up setting the standard for the entire group. A lot of times, the way people try to make black men wear the actions of every black man who has ever lived.
yeah.
So I'm not a fan of that. Um, because again, I know plenty of women that you can take to Applebee's if you had to, and as long as you was paying, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, let me ask you
that's
this.
all it is.
So I've had a situation that was very similar to this.
Really.
Yeah, very similar. So let's see. And I want to ask you if I was in the wrong for any of this. So basically, I went on a date with a girl, first date, and I was getting my hair cut on the east side before the date. And so I got my hair cut and everything like that. So I'm on the east side. So I'm like, all right, Flavor 91 is on the east side. So maybe I can take her over to Flavor 91, black owned. They have drinks, they have good food.
Have a bar, yeah, full service bar, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it should be cool. And this was like right after the pandemic. So unfortunately, when we got there, they were like, we only do pickups right now.
Hey.
So I had to do another choice, but that was my choice. And I was like, yeah, let's just go to Flavor 91, chill spot. She was so offended about this spot. Black women, by the way, so offended by the spot, didn't care that it was black owned, that she like basically made me go to like another place. And she was also offended that it was Flavor 91 Bistro and she felt like it wasn't a bistro. I was like, are you fucking serious?
Bitch, this is Columbus, Ohio, bitch. This Columbus, Ohio, bitch. What do you expect? Are you expecting like something on the end of your brownstone or something like that? Like
You know what I
people
mean?
sitting outside, a little violin playing from inside. Like what do you think bistros in Ohio look like? They look a lot like restaurants. That's what they look like.
You know what I mean? And so I ended up having to take her to Forno downtown, basically. Not downtown, short north.
What is it?
Forno. It's Forno. Forno. Yeah, it's like one of those little. It's one of those like restaurants that are like really kind of ducked off, but it's on High Street.
Ain't it still a Golden Corral in Whitehall? We'd have hit that. Yeah, fucking around with me.
And basically, this place serves like expensive pizza. It's like really good pizza, like nice pizza, but like that's what the place was. And we got drinks there, and it was kind of expensive. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not meeting you back up for another date. Like, fuck
Ever
that shit.
again, man. Like, and I don't even really get the idea of what are you really getting from this? Like, if you're not just straight up using me for a meal, which that shit happened plenty of times. If that's not the case, what is it that you think you're getting from me? Do you think you're getting a man that truly cares or has his shit together? Any idiot can have money, girl. Like that is not a way to tell whether or not you're getting a good man. Whether or not he pays for you or buys you something expensive. What if I just buy you expensive shit to make you shut up?
Yeah.
To keep you docile, to keep you out of my face, to keep you from talking to me? What if I just want you to be the trophy that I pull out when I need to go be seen publicly? And other than that, I'm gonna just throw money at you to get you to leave me alone. Is that the type of relationship that you're looking for? Like what if I manipulate people with money?
Yeah.
What if I give you that money, I spend all this money on you, and now I expect something from it? Now you belong to me because I've shelled out all this money to you. Like you're putting yourself in very icky circumstances when you start establishing relationships based off of money.
Yeah. And,
Now, if you're saying that you want a faithful man, somebody who's going to stick around with you, that usually comes from relationships that aren't built on any type of quid pro quo.
yeah. And it seemed like from where she was coming from, I guess, is that she's used to guys trying to impress her on the first date, which my idea is I want to get to know you on the first date. And now because you did all this fuck shit, I don't want to know you anymore. So
I don't want to know you at all. I don't want to know you at all. You made an issue about the amount of money that was being spent on the date before we even had the date.
facts.
Now, if I took you out somewhere and you had a bad experience, we had bad service, the food was bad, it was cheap, it seemed like I was just trying to save a buck by taking you here, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
But if you are sitting in the car complaining about the location before you spent any time with the individual, your focus is in the wrong place. And that's an automatic turn off.
Facts.
I've had fun with girls at parks. I know goddamn well you don't need no 5-star restaurant to get down with a homeboy. You feel me? Like I didn't kick it on the school bus, missed my bus stop, stayed on the bus, Riz session, as the young boys say. Riz on 100.
Is the best first date not drinks? I get drinks. That's what I do. You want to run up the tab on drinks? I guess I'd be cool with that. But like, that's the shit I do.
But see, nowadays, like you could get a girl and be like, all right, well, we're gonna get drinks. Let's meet up for happy hour. If you tell a girl that you want to meet her for happy hour, she's probably not gonna go. Oh,
yeah, no, I can't say I did happy hour.
There are certain women who will not want to meet up with you if you're trying to set up a happy hour date.
I could see that. I believe that. Now, I've dealt with happy hour like after a few dates, but now it's usually like a Friday night, Saturday night deal. That ain't happy hour. At least from how I've dealt with it.
If you are in one of the demographics that is perpetually single or looking for partners, and this is your mentality, then I guess you kind of deserve to be single.
Yeah. Yep. You are doing yourself a disservice. So L to you as well. And the Cheesecake Factory girl. That's all I got.
So that's it for our dubs and L's. Give us your dubs and L's in the prompt below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back every Wednesday for another dubs and L's video.
Absolutely. And make sure you check out our previous dubs and L's where we gave Drake an L for his album and debacles. Yep, that Drake. And then make sure you check out our playlist full of dubs and L's where we talked about previous weeks. See what we talked about before. And then obviously make sure you subscribe. Like he said, we like to do this every Wednesday at 10 o'clock.